Alrighty, guys, and here we are for the first game of Albert Wesker of the day. Super excited to witness a Mastermind performance here on the Cold Tower, especially from a prominent Wesker player such as GenBlight, knowing all the techs, everything you can do as Wesker. Already going for a slide tech, an insanely cracked hit onto Zanami here as GenBlight is able to force Zanami to kind of corner the map here, breaking the pallet on the pallet gem, and Zanami just takes spacing over towards this filler pallet, as it's going to be hard to get anywhere else. I think if you're Zanami here in this situation, what else do you have to work with? You have that car pallet on the main building that you can possibly get to. However, Wesker is doing a really good job zoning here in this situation, preventing any of that from happening. Very cracked flick. Oh. Okay, GenBlight coming out with the absolutely cranked Wesker plays, able to get a down on his enemy here. However, I think that was risky, as I feel like Luminescence could have maybe taken some hits there, but I don't think it's gonna happen, as Zanami gets hooked using the Scourge hook pain resonance stack coming out onto a generator and the distance possibly. However, that would have been the least progressed generator. That kill generator was already completed. However, GenBlight just hitting like every virulent bounce so far. I mean, absolutely cracked plays coming out. And what do we see here? VLP getting chased behind the main building as GenBlight just trying to clear out those breakable walls.
Yeah, really nicely done by GenBlight. And if there's one thing we know about a hill hook on the Cold Tower, it's that it can sometimes be just as strong as basement here. Having just the one entrance to go up there, it's probable that they're going to have to send in two of the teammates to come and save it for Zanami off the hook here. But we are going to probably see Luminescence knowing full well that, there we go, if he's being camped, they're probably going to be progressing the generators. So I think that's a lot of difference here that we see in our competitive matches in the DBDLeague compared to a lot of other matches that we see floating around, is that our players and our teams, they just know what to do. So if someone's being camped, you know full well that they're going to be getting progress on those generators. A nice for the people play coming through, so we're not going to see any tunneling, and if we do, that is completely unfair because he is now full health. But we are going to be continuing it. Now, unfortunate, he's almost going to be infected as well, Squill. So that's going to mean that he's going to get that insta-grab potential.
Yeah, the hindered as well. It does quite a lot as you're trying to loop around pallets, but
oh, timing.
It doesn't happen in time. GenBlight gets the injure onto Zanami, not the insta down. However, Zanami is in fact already injured and does have the hindered status effect as well. So GenBlight able to just get that final hook, and that's already a dead Nia for Luminescence at 3 generators. Definitely not as good as a survivor performance as we saw last game from them. However, I mean, given it is sequences pick on the Wesker here, making sense. I mean, GenBlight absolutely cracked Wesker player and gets the mind game onto VLT. Look at the movement here, the mind games. Very strong mind games, very strong hits, very strong movement coming out from GenBlight on Wesker. What did you say, Lauren?
Absolutely, and this is why so many people love playing as and playing against the Mastermind. So enjoyable to watch as well from our perspective. Really nice to see that mechanical skill, right, come through. I think that it's so nice to see someone mechanically skilled at the killer that they're playing, who knows the ins and outs of the killer's power. And that's just what we're seeing here, except for that moment. We don't talk about that one. That's fine. That's fine. Now we are going to be having a look at the generators left on the map there. I'm hoping that he turns around soon so we can see where the other ones are. But we do have 2 up here on the shack side. So it does look like Luminescence have left quite a nice split here with the gens, forcing GenBlight to go on a bit of a map tour to make sure that he's kicking those gens to get the eruption and the pop value. You can see a really nice split. So that's a job well done by Luminescence, and definitely setting them up in a good position for this 3v1.
Yeah, you talk about that. You talk about that mechanical skill bar, and I think that's okay. That was interesting. I feel like Sasha was already over the window. However, it doesn't even matter. Wesker just able to grab the Claudette here in this situation, and possibly just completely get it down here, as Sasha was able to completely dodge a follow-up before he went down. Maybe able to make this pallet here. Possibly. Is it going to happen? It's not. GenBlight really taking advantage of the Ouroboros add-on there, able to just get a longer dash with the first dash. I mean, really proving a viable add-on. However, I was talking about the mechanical skill, and I feel like that's a harder feat now in DBD compared to what it used to be, because in old DBD, what I saw was a lot of people maining specific builds. GenBlight not even allowing me to have a conversation here, able to just get downs as quick as possible, showing that he's really experienced on the Wesker plays. However, you saw, what I was saying is, you saw a lot of mains back in the day. You saw a lot of killer mains, people maining one specific killer. However, what are there, like 25 killers in the game now or more? And it's hard to be experienced on every single one of them, I'd say. And there's so many killers you need to play that you're gonna see the same player playing multiple different killers, and quite frankly a lot of killers as well. So maybe at this point, if you're a competitive DBD team, you want your survivor players to also know how to play some of the other killers.
Absolutely. Now, I think it's worth mentioning as well is that this is the same Wesker that Xeno ran for 5 gens a couple of weeks ago. So absolutely complete turnaround in the gameplay here from what we saw then to what we've seen now. GenBlight definitely coming out and trying to prove a point. Absolutely incredible gameplay is what we're seeing here, and he is going to continue. That was
every
absolute
time.
filth. Absolute filth.
Every time on the window.
Good lord. I don't think GenBlight's going to be allowed a Wesker set after this. I really don't. He's going to be using this VOD to be making a Wesker montage. I think we're going to see a couple of clips from Exeyes after this game of how Weskers really play Dead by Daylight.
Yeah, although we do exercise videos. Anyway, we do see a 4th generator coming out from Luminescence, just completely ignoring resetting in this situation. We do see that Sasua is currently hindered by the infection, and GenBlight just taking advantage of it once again, able to get yet another down. And SB Sasua going back to 50% progress on the infection. That's what happens when you hook the survivor. It's a balanced decision just to keep Wesker in check, making sure his tunnel potential isn't crazy strong, although it is pretty strong. I mean, you do have that infection still remaining, and Delusion just taking pathing, baking the window for as long as possible, and he's just able to completely dodge the hit going around the generator there on this 3-lane tile. So he has the pallet to play with. Doesn't even matter. GenBlight does a really good job mind gaming the pallet, able to get the hit effectively as he lunges through. However, that's an unhook on to Sasua in the distance, possibly looking to spray and remove the infection, maybe if possible. However, it's not gonna be easy to do, as they're kind of both stuck in the corner of the map there. It's gonna be hard to get another generator out as well, I'd say.
Yeah, it's going to be tough being in a 2v1. We're both injured. Sasuha is borderline almost infected as well. So it's really tough here in this scenario. If Sasuha does use the spray, his location is going to be found. So it does make it very, very tricky. We're doing the standoff here, but BLT winning the battle of the pallet there. Nice to see. I just wanted to mention as well, Squill, you know, we often have our chat open in the Discord server with our match officials and our wonderful staff in the background giving us the important information. But almost every message sent this game is not about the score, it's not about perks, it's not about add-ons, it's just, what? Nah, this guy, what is this? Just absolutely complimenting the gameplay that they're watching. So you love to see it when a killer comes out with such mechanical skill, just absolutely annihilating and destroying these filthy survivors on pods.
Yeah, and that's a good point. The Mastermind being one of the killers with probably one of the highest possible skill ceilings there are in terms of all Dead by Daylight killers. There's so many techs you can do on him, so many things. Although it is a little, as Sasha goes down there, it is a little annoying when you're playing Wesker and you vault a pallet, but the survivor is just able to go through you and vault again, completely removing that whole gameplay on Wesker. But it doesn't even matter here for GenBlight, able to just get insane pressure, and we saw that Sasha didn't even try to use the first aid spray there. Just try and pressure generators as much as possible. Not easy to do here with a triple stack on regression perks, as GenBlight just able to close the hatch. Adrenaline play onto DLT, possibly trying to lose Wesker here in this situation. It is doable. It's definitely plausible. However, it's not going to be easy, as both doors are, you can definitely get line of sight on both of them, I feel like, here. And GenBlight is going to try and play the pallet. Doesn't even matter. VLT is going to get hit by the absolutely cranked virulent down plays yet again coming out from GenBlight here in this situation. And, I mean, we're looking at, what, a 4K on one generator here as GenBlight gets that final hit onto VLT. Ending the trial here. Just has to make it over to the hook. And not going to be hard to do, as VLT isn't wiggling here, although probably would have made it anyway. So, yeah, that's the hook coming out on the VLT. 4K on one generator. I'd say that's a pretty good Wesker result, especially on Cold Tower. But yeah, I mean,
Absolutely.
Sequence looking to be in a strong spot here.
Absolutely, it's such a nice position to put the survivor team of Sequence. Really well played by GenBlight. They're our P100 mastermind right there, showing us how it's done, and a final score of 28 points to Sequence and 8 points for Luminescence. I'm not entirely sure who's going to come out on the mastermind for Luminescence, but oh boy, have they got a task ahead of them when they do. So we're going to set up that lobby and come back after a short break with Luminescence on the mastermind going against the survivor team of Sequence on the Cold Tower.